I asked on our Talking Wednesday Twitter at Talking Wed, please go and follow that for Christ's sake. It's got 97 followers, and we're one of the most watched podcasts for sport, for like championship football and all that. So please build up our Twitter following. But yeah, it's got sell and rebuild. So the question was, it was a poll on there. I said, should Chansiri sell or rebuild? It's currently, and this will change over the course, when you go back and look at this, it'll probably change because it's up for a day. Currently, as it sits, 75% of people say sell, 24.4, 75.6 and 24.4 say rebuild.
The problem you've got
that's three quarters of the fan base.
We know what Chansiri's asking price is. Well,
300 million on it.
We apparently know it was like 150 million.
Is it gone now?
350 million is what he put into the club, apparently.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
And he wants 150 million for the club. Well, you're not going to get that for League One.
No, definitely
at all. If you look at what Darren Moore said on the Twitter with the fans. Also, credit for Darren Moore for being there in the rain when you just had pneumonia.
Yeah.
You mentally.
You nutcase.
I like you.
Right.
I like you, but...
We're gonna get the same couple of commenters we always get in the chat going, it's Darren Moore's fault. What is your issue with him, right? Because he's been like one of the better sparks since coming in. And yes, the results haven't been amazing under him, but the players have... This is the difference. If you're watching every match, you can see the players want to play for him, and the genuine upset that's come into it from here has been because of that. But I asked that poll. The reason I asked that is because I want us to talk about, should Chansiri sell or rebuild? What do you think, Punk?
I think he should sell, but I also think that could be we could go down a Derby route of waiting for a sell.
They stayed up today because there are us there, so it's one of those.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Wigan just stayed up and they had their situation, but his goal was to get up to the Premiership, and it's not worked. We don't hear anything from him. For me, right now, we're down. We know that. Monday, there should be a statement from Chansiri saying what the plans are coming soon or soon. Because we don't hear anything. We hear
sack off Monday. He should have prepared for this and he should be out now. Yeah. We should see breaking news during this podcast.
Yeah, but the problem that I'm scared that breaking news is going to be Darren Moore had been let go. Thank you for your effort.
That's the worst thing he could do right now.
Yeah.
The worst thing he could do.
You're blaming it on a bloke who's been here, 2-ish months?
And hardly here because he's had pneumonia.
And hardly because he's had pneumonia and everything else. And at the end of the day, if you didn't spend all this time, listen, your heart's in the right place. I get that. But your advisors you have around you are useless. Get rid of them. And get people in that know football. This Chansiri bloke who's been your right-hand man, he is a shambles.
Did you just call him Chansiri?
Yes,
you just combine their names and they like bromance now. Have you shit them?
Yeah. It's been a long day. Paxio, thank you. But he's not the person who should be around the club. If you've noticed anything, it's gone from up here to be like very close to playoffs to down. And you can't blame anyone but yourself for the point deduction we got. That's on you.
I have said that, and this is my way of saying it, if Chansiri is watching, if he's got advisors in the club that keep monitor what the fans are feeling, which, if to be honest, a well-run football club should be doing that. They should be monitoring everything that's got a bit of an audience, and we've got over 1,000 weekly listeners. So yeah, that listen to the whole thing. We've got more than that, but we've got the stats, by the way. I just want to say, we'll say this in here. Thank you. Over 1,000 of you watch the whole bloody thing, and that's mental because we waffle for quite some time. But
you even listen to me make horrendous speaking mistakes.
Yeah, but he should definitely listen to fans that have got voices, especially with the amount of discussion that goes off in our comment section. And if he is listening or he's got somebody, he needs to come out and speak. Right? I'm not going to tell him straight away that he needs to sell the club. My situation is he needs to tell us what's going on at the club.
Yeah.
And if he has screwed it up monumentally, right? He needs to fix it before he sells. Because part of me now is like, if your heart's not in it to the point you're not even talking to the fans and you've got us relegated, you should leave. You should sell. But before you go, if you have damaged the club, you need to fix that. You need to fix it and then you sell to somebody else because you can't just come into this club, go for it, spend a load of money, put us in a load of mess, and then not clean up your mess before you walk out of that door. That is what the worst thing you could do. Forget the stick you're getting. You're going to get stick, right? And I don't tolerate, we do not condone any of the levels of abuse that he can get.
Nope.
But if you've got to clean up this mess before you decide to sell, if you jump ship, that's the worst thing you could possibly do.
My only kind of thing, I understand that you're being a remote chairman at the minute. You haven't been here. In the past, you will be at Wednesday for 6 months of the year and then 6 months back in Thailand, where you will be able to be a bit hands-on with what's going on.
Could he not have moved?
Not when the pandemic hit, no.
No, but there's been times where there's travel restrictions have lifted during that, so surely couldn't he have moved?
He could have done, yeah, fair enough.
I don't know if I'm being, I might be being a bit harsh there, and I apologise if I am, but it's the same with the Super League owners that are never there. Do you know what? All that talk. Yeah. Like, if this is going to be there, you want to bed in.
The difference is with like the Super League, the Liverpool lot, they actually get to know that Duff beat them. We only hear from Chansiri when it's gone really downhill and getting bad negativity. It's like the PR people have gone, right, you're getting really bad PR, you need to come out. And for Christ's sake, Chansiri, stop blaming us fans. It's doing my head in.
Yeah, customers. We're customers, you know? And
yeah, stop, just, I like it, but you say, you told me to buy Jordan Rowe. Well, you shouldn't use a club to buy Jordan Rowe. It should be that we scouted him for this long. It should be this much. That's it.
I'm going to read what the Trust have said on this, because the Trust have come out and made a statement. Okay?
Have they?
Yeah, the Wednesday Trust. So they've come out and gone, although relegation to League One has been expected for several weeks, expectation does not lessen the pain now it's confirmed. The 12 and ultimately 6-point deduction we began the season with cast a cloud over the season before it began. The 2 independent panel hearings confirmed that the points deduction was imposed not because of the sale of Hillsborough was outside of the permitted rules, but this is in bold, but simply because the paperwork associated with the sale was not submitted to the correct deadline. Derby County managed to get this right. Sheffield Wednesday did not. And it seems this act of gross incompetence is a contributing factor to our relegation. To add insult to injury, in pursuing this strategy to avoid points deductions, our club has ultimately lost ownership and control of its historic home. Rather than playing there for free, the club must now pay £2.5 million in rent for each of the next 30 years to continue playing at Hillsborough. With significantly reduced income in League One, this is a huge sum to factor in annually and will take precedence over player wages. We fear the club now faces a real crisis and that has been building for 4 years, whilst those in charge of the club has done little to avoid it. As Steve Chu, a member of our advisory panel, recently commented on Twitter, Sheffield Wednesday has become a team without enough heart and money without a soul.
Yeah,
now,
I agree with that.
There's a lot more to this, but I'm not going to read the whole statement. Now, I will say, in the past, we said the Trust has kind of like tried to toe that line with Chansiri and not ask the pressing questions that we wanted them to ask, and different boards of panels have not pushed him enough when it was obvious that we were heading to League One, and they've kind of talked about all the merchandising and all of that stuff. The focus has not been in there, and I know they would basically have their panel shut down pretty much, and I know that's why they've not done that. But this time, I must say, they have put it exactly how it is.
Yeah. The stadium situation, I understand what they're saying, and that is scary. You never want to go down like a Coventry situation, who have now recently got the Rico back. Congratulations for that. Like, huge for you, especially being a championship club. You can finally next season play at home and not Birmingham City. But it just goes down to this whole situation. When we were doing good, we did have little bits of communication for him, but not much. We didn't need it. These little mini press conferences for 2 hours or whatever. And one of the things I want out of everything, just if you're not comfortable with using English, get a translator. Please. Because
I don't know, he speaks good enough English now. I just think he avoids questions.
Yeah. But
he avoids questions, he avoids responsibility. In my opinion, he started to avoid responsibility by... Do you remember how arrogantly he said last season that we're not going to get... earlier this season that we're not going to get relegated? I'll sort it out before that happens. He's let us down. It's on him. So for me, right now, my emotion's saying sell the club, but part of me is also like, well, the big part of me is you can't sell the club unless you fix your mess, right? And if you are committed to this club, you need to talk to us now and you need to do things properly. If you're going to stay in ownership of Sheffield Wednesday Football Club, fix your mess, communicate with the fans, stop hiding things and fix it properly. Because we are now relegated for the first time since I was in bloody like college. Do you know what I mean? Like it's been
9 years since we've been in League One.
A long time. Cutting in the edit here because of course when I've had many alcohol and food that Chansiri releases a statement, but it wouldn't be fair of us to not include this part of it because it's very relevant. So Chansiri on the evening of Sheffield Wednesday's relegation releases a statement that is as follows. As your owner and chairman, I take full responsibility for everything that happens at our club. I am the leader, and in good times or bad, the responsibility for Sheffield Wednesday lies with me. I am sorry to you all that we have been relegated. This was never what I anticipated when I came to Hillsborough in 2015. My vision was to take Wednesday to the Premier League. We came so close in 2016, and then again in 2017, and since then the times have not been so good at all. In football, in sport, there are highs and there are lows, and right now this is the lowest I have felt, and I know you will be feeling the same. There are no guarantees in football. We have tried our best, but our best was not good enough. We must now face the reality of what lies ahead, and for next season at least, that is League One. We must pick ourselves up from the floor and move forward in a positive way. We have had plans for both scenarios, and now our immediate future is clear. We can start to put those plans in place. I can pledge that as chairman, I will give everything I can offer, as much support as possible to everyone as we try to achieve promotion at the first attempt. There are issues we must address in the short and long term, and some things will not happen overnight. Darren Moore will be the manager for sure. And at the moment I mention Darren's name, I must wish him all the very best as he continues his recovery from illness. Health must come before anything else, as this past year has taught us more than ever. I would like to say thank you to the coaching staff who stepped up in Darren's absence, and also to everyone who has worked so hard during what has become one of, if not the most challenging season in the history of Sheffield Wednesday. It has ended in the worst possible way, but we will have to look for the light at the end of the tunnel. We will rebuild on the pitch and off it. The day when fans can return again cannot come soon enough. I say thank you to our fans. It has been soulless without having you following the team home and away, and I know all clubs say the same, but we have missed your support so much. Like all of you, I hope that life can return to normal soon and in football. That will mean having our fans back in Hillsborough and following the team around the country in the numbers that you do. You do not deserve this end to a season that in so many ways we will want to forget, but in others we can look back on in time as a turning point for the revival of our club. Quick thoughts on this before I let you get back to the main segment of the podcast. I think it's good that he's coming out. It's a start. I know for a lot of people this won't be enough, but if you think about the lack of apologies that some Premier League clubs have been getting recently, for his faults, this is an owner that at the heart of it does care. We've just not seen enough of that. We need more of this. This is not a one-off. This needs to be a thing of constant communication. If he's going to stick around at Sheffield Wednesday, I stand firm on that. This is not going to soften anything on that front, but it is a start. The positive is he sees the support behind Darren Moore. He's going to back Darren Moore, and he says he's got a plan. We need to hear what those plans are now for those scenarios. It's obviously very early. This statement's just come out. This podcast was edited and uploaded, by the way, so I've had to pull it down and re-edit it, so that's fun. But I thought we've got to talk about this because even though it's early stages, he says he's got plans. He says he's got scenarios for League One. Let's see what they are and they unfold. And I'm sure we'll talk about them very soon on this podcast. But let's get back to the main episode.